What Genghis Khan wants, he usually gets. Stymied by our defenses at Zhongguan, the Mongol leader has turned to his envoy Zabar, a former emissary to Zhongdu. Evidently, this Zabar knew of a hidden path through the woods off to the north. Using this secret way around our flank, the fortress city of Zhongguan fell. The Mongols are on their way to Zhongdu. Upgrade our defenses at Zhongdu quickly, young architect. The great Khan's army will be upon us before long. If you can defeat him, the Jin dynasty will have written a glorious new chapter in the long history of our great land. Take this opportunity to then expand Zhongdu, growing it into a city that will be unsurpassed in the imperial records of China.
G'day mates, and welcome back to Emperor. This is the final episode today. We're heading into the final episode to essentially defend against Genghis Khan, back in our capital of Zhongdu. Now, my historical knowledge, I think, is a little bit sketchy on this part of history, but I think Genghis actually took this and destroyed it and burnt it to the ground. And his grandson, which was Kublai Khan, because actually it's K's don't have a sound. The Mongolians can't say the K sound, so it's Genghis Khan, essentially. So it's Kublai Khan, as it's written. And he effectively rebuilt his temple, made the Yuan dynasty around Zhongdu here. So, and built the ruins of it. So this city was completely destroyed. So we'll have a quick look at the old city I built. It's quite a nice looking city, a very jam-packed city. Oh, beautiful. I've got all the forts down here, which is pretty centrally located. There are four of them down here. Okay, that's pretty good. So I've got a couple of forts down here. I fully expect them to invade from the north, which is a problem. They'll probably come in through here and rip through this farmland here and then straight into our city there. There's a chance. Let's have a quick look. Oh, wait, one. Let's have a look here. Yeah, they could come from the northwest as well, which is through this forested area. So there's a small chance they come from up here and run down. That could be possible. And unlikely, but possible they'll come here from the west as well. So we've got 30,000 springs of cash. That seems like a very odd number to finish on, so I suspected that they've reset my money. Trade appears to be good. I'll go through this in my own time just to make sure that everything is working correctly, because they have, in previous missions, changed things up a bit. Heavenly Compound, what do we actually need? We need a Grand Pagoda. We need a slightly higher population. We have sufficient number of Heavenly Compounds, which is brilliant. And we require, what's that? 6 years of heroes. So I think I can't win, even if I get a hero immediately. I can't actually win before they invade me. So I'm going to need to prepare to build this up. Employment is acceptable, so we can expand that. We're going to need another housing block, unfortunately. Ooh, things could be a bit tight. Likely I'll just bulldoze this and put another one down here somewhere just to get an extra couple of hundred people. We don't need much. We could almost get it into a almost an unupgraded block. So that's not impossible. Things are looking pretty good so far. Food is very low, which I'm not happy about. I think we've got some good stockpiles here, and the harvest looks like it is ready to come in now. So I think the city's in a pretty good shape. I'm going to spend a little bit more time familiarizing myself with it. I wonder if we can trade with the Mongols. I don't see why not. Let's send them a gift anyway. A gift of... do I have a lot of silk? Normally I've got a lot of silk in these cities. Yeah, I don't have a lot, but I've got some. Let's send them a gift of silk. They're almost certain to like that, because these northern ones almost always buy silk from us. And send them a medium gift of 8 silk. One that'll open up information so I know what to trade with them. There's also a very good chance that it will make them very happy and less likely to attack me, although I'm fairly certain they're going to attack me regardless. So I'm going to need to build up the forts, I'm going to need to think about that stuff, and I'll cut back once I'm ready. Okay, welcome back. Things appear to be fairly intact. For example, most of the trade things still are doing what I wanted them to do, so we're still importing lacquer and tea and various bits like that, as well as exporting silk and ceramics as appropriate. So what I've done, you can probably notice a bit of a change here. I've put a wall around most of the city. It's not completely continuous because of the fact that I've tightly packed quite a lot of things, and there are little rivers and bodies of water in the way, but I don't think they can get through there necessarily, so they shouldn't just rush for that gap. So a couple of towers around, not particularly well developed just yet, especially up here. There's a massive gap, because that is as far as I can build. So I could theoretically sort of zigzag along the top here and bulldoze some of this stuff, and I may consider that later, depending on how big this invasion is likely to be. Maybe if it's multiple invasions or if it's a single invasion. But it does sort of resume over here again and head on down again. Body of water in the way. I think they can just, if they come in, they'll probably paddle across that. So probably gonna be worth my while to throw down an additional tower. If I put some stuff there, does that count as having access? Throw you there. Yes, we need more workers, which is going to be a problem, but that should provide access to labour, I hope. And that'll sort of defend this wall a little bit while I get my troops into position, and of course all the way down here zigzagging around, and couldn't quite fit in a gate here, so that is probably where they're going to beeline for as an entrance, which is a problem, but we do have troops in the area to hold them off if at all possible. I could have bulldozed this storage yard and may even put it over there actually. Could that fit there? Yeah, I could put a storage yard over here and move that out, then I can put a gate here. But I'm not bothered about that just yet. If it becomes a concern later, then I can take care of it then. I may even, actually, that's probably a good idea. Glad I did it on camera. Okay, assuming I've got the roadblocks there, it's a little difficult to see. Let's have a squeeze around and have a look. They should come out, head up, and assuming they can go through that gate and the roadblocks are all placed, nothing should change here, so we should be able to keep that area walled off as well. Now we are going to require the population, and I've thrown down a little bit of a thing here. These are probably not going to level up because of the work camps here, although I've tried to offset that. And these ones here, again, surrounded by some pretty average looking stuff. I can probably squeeze a few more in here, and there's my phone ringing. I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back after that phone call. I got briefly interrupted, so I have forgotten exactly what I was talking about. Something to do with throwing in additional houses up here. But yeah, some bloke called me about a tractor. That's farm life for you. So either way, I think things are looking pretty good here. We're going to mosey on. Time hasn't actually gone. We're only in the second month here. And I've blown only a small amount of my total cash. So I think the wall is reasonably intact. Obviously throwing the monument down here, the Grand Pagoda. What I'm concerned about is there's no road connection down here. So people are going to be travelling a long way around. So actually, let's do that while we're on camera. We're going to need to connect this up here. So I'll bring you down to... I don't want to touch anything if I can avoid it. So I'm going to bring you down to here. Roadblock these off to prevent things from going downhill rapidly. And we're going to need a sneaky little connection through here somewhere. Again, don't want to touch anything if I can avoid it. These are okay, but I think if we zigzag in that way, that should be fine. You are a Carpenter's Guild, you can just run up as normal. So that should allow quicker access up here, and I should be able to beautify the area around here. Typically this entrance is on the lower side. Well, by pressing the R key you can flick it between these two configurations. Unfortunately, couldn't put the access up here or over there, but we've got those two configurations to choose from. Now let's march time on forward and hope to God that we can get something sorted before the Mongols arrive. Alrighty, looks like Su Wukong has arrived. Why has he popped up here? Let's have a quick look at the... Oh, okay, I didn't even notice that. Obviously Shen Nong was angry before, so I sent something through to him. It looks like Su Wukong is very happy because of this, where are we? This big monstrosity here. The large palace is apparently dedicated to him. So we completed that on the last city, last time we were here. And he appears to have a he's very appreciative. Just can't read and talk at the same time. So he is a fighting priest. He was a Taoist, but now he's Buddhist. And he is apparently the best fighter. The downside, of course, is we're now going to be burning through his love for us. Geez, my cash shot up quickly in 1 month. We're going to be burning through his dedication and love for us very quickly while he's in the city, and I can't really get rid of him. He's just going to keep coming back. So I guess he's just going to add to my months of heroes at this point. Not a lot I can do about that. But if we do get attacked in the near future, before he's completely burnt through his love, then we'll be able to bring him in and help him to fight off those dirty Mongols. Okay, this house is completely unable to evolve beyond hut. I have to knock that one out. Fuck. That's not good. Okay, Mongol Empire is grateful for silk. I have just lost about 24 to 36 carved jade because that is not working. That is very, very bad. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, that is a solid 8 or 9. It's probably not that high actually because we still have a fair bit of cash. It's a lot of cash we just lost and a lot of stuff that we can gift. But, I mean, it is fixable. All I need to do is throw down an inspector's tower in here. I guess I'll just throw you there and we can bulldoze this one out here because it's clearly not working. They cannot move through the gate. Probably should have checked that earlier. But you can export carved jade. May as well export silk as well. And the others I'm not bothered with. Steel imports will probably be useful. I'll bring that in. Hang on, no I won't. No, I will not. Because there's no weapons smithing here. Yes, there is. Okay, there is weapon smithing, so I'm going to bring in steel imports. Magically, it's teleported onto their ships, and I'll sell some steel as well. And yeah, trade this here. So I have been buying through here already, and been selling off carved jade and silk. Rather unfortunate that we did lose all that carved jade. But again, our cash is not going to be a concern. Tax alone, let's have a look at our tax. We're making, I think we're making 46,000 from tax. No, we're not. We're making, hang on, wait. Nearly 10,000 uncollected this year. Do I not have a tax collector somewhere? So as far as I can tell, that is tax income, not city income. Yeah, okay, so I'm not taxing these guys here, and that's missing nearly 10 grand worth of tax income. Where can I squeeze one in? You are herbalist, you are acupuncturist. I'm gonna have to remove this building here, I think. There's nowhere else I can. Inspector's tower, road access. I don't think I can fit in a tax collector anywhere. That's Buddhist shrine, that's a Buddhist... Hang on, wait. That's a Confucian academy, that's a Buddhist pagoda, that's a pond that's going to have to go, those can't go, you can't go, and there is no space. So, okay, the pond is going to have to go. We're going to reduce the amenities and throw in another tax collector. Let's beautify it up with these cherry trees. I like the white flowers, they're quite bright and vibrant. So that tax collector will give us an additional $10,000 in cash, which will hopefully stop these guys getting away scot-free. You've got to tax them. They're living the lap of luxury. Okay, housing for 440 additional people. We have fewer than 300 required to get to our population limit. So once this area fully levels up, it's not going to go much more. I can probably get a couple of these going up. Luxurious apartments. So a few of them are luxurious apartments. Some of them are never going to get that high. I wonder if I can get a private garden back here. I can. Looks quite nice there. That'll definitely level those guys up. Maybe I've already got Tai Chi parks. I need a pond. That there, and let's beautify that up with just a bit of gardens. I might throw some statues in there later to break up the monotony. But other than that, things are looking pretty good down here. We've got a couple of Tai Chi parks. Up here at the monument, which is very nearly done. It'll be done very shortly. We've got a Tai Chi park for exercise in front of the monument and a private garden for contemplation of, I guess, listening to music and thinking about various religious grand pottery things. In other news, we're gonna need months of heroes, although I'm going to control this if possible, so that we don't win too early. I do want Genghis Khan to come along and attempt to lay waste to us. He may even beat us, in which case I'm going to regret that. But I think we're looking pretty good. We're fairly well set up for now. At this point, I don't think I'm going to cut back for anything unless Genghis himself arrives and begins to attack. Spectacular timing. I barely cut off the recording, and the Mongol Empire is now demanding tea. It's only 12 sachets of tea, so I'm going to dispatch that. Let's actually have a quick look at what they are like. We appear to have a greater military than they do. They need silk, they are displeased, they produce a few things, but silk and tea they require, so we can probably give them ongoing gifts of tea and silk, and I suppose we can probably even open trade with them. That could be worthwhile. Could be worthwhile, I'm not sure just yet. Alrighty, here we go. The Mongol Empire has launched an invasion. This is it. This is the big battle that we are preparing for. So we're going to see if we can hold them off. I am not sure where they're going to come from, but I'm going to prepare my forces and we'll be ready. Alrighty, Mongol Empire has launched an invasion. You can see Su Wukong has arrived just recently, and they're coming from the northeast, which is... looks like they're right there actually. They're probably just going to run around. This could get very messy very quickly. Now I can bribe them if I was so inclined, but what we're going to do is fight to defend the city. So we bribe them, we know they're just going to be back very shortly. Let's see if we can take them down. And the invasion force has been completely defeated. We took almost no losses at all. I have a sneaking suspicion that was only going to be a probing force, because that was a little bit too easy for... the final battle. So I suspect we're probably going to have a future attack that we're going to need to take care of. We didn't take a lot of damage. We lost the gate, and looks like a couple of fields somehow turned into rubble. But other... Ooh. I am not going to dispatch them. I'm disappointed that they attacked me, so I'm not going to dispatch. I'm not going to kowtow and bow down to them. They had their opportunity and they attacked, and because of that, we're going to fight to push them back in the future. How many did we lose here? We lost quite a lot of our horsemen. They're still conscripts, unfortunately. I've never actually seen anybody level up, whether it's a bug in the game or something I'm just completely overlooking, I'm not sure. But hopefully our guys will continue to, continue to level up and gain some experience. Oh, mate, come over here. Frustrating, this game sometimes. Mongol Empire thinks less of me, that doesn't bother me. I don't need them for trade, I don't need them for anything else. And good timing, the Grand Pagoda is complete, looking spectacular here. Again, I did wish it had a little bit of colour, maybe some blue roofing or something similar to that up there. But either way, this Grand Pagoda, Grand Pagoda is done. Who is making... It's making Body Harmer happy, as well as Guandi. Both of these are military heroes. It's actually making Su Wukong exalted as well. He was joyful before. So it's making 3 military guys exalted, which is brilliant. Means I can keep him in the city for a little bit longer. I've thrown out additional towers, but it looks like our workers are fluctuating slightly. I thought we had a sufficient number. Maybe one of these devolved briefly. I could knock out that and throw another house in perhaps, but we'll see how we're going. For the time being, things are pretty good. I just need to make sure we keep our gods happy. All doing well there. And let's have a look at our things. We've done everything except for Months of Heroes. Now, hopefully the Mongols attack me sometime before this goes up. I will... Happy New Year. I don't want him to make me win before the big attack actually comes. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer and we'll see if anything else comes. Okay, the Mongol Empire has become hostile. I'm assuming this means they're going to send the big one to attack us shortly. 27 months completed. He's just running around. The gods are... Okay, it's beginning to burn through his happiness. So we could dismiss him and bring in, say, Bodhihama or Guandi shortly. Bodhihama being a defensive hero only, and Guandi allowing us to bless forts. So most of the military heroes do have some utility to them. Okay, I've dispatched what's his face here before he gets too unhappy. The Monkey King, whatever his name is. And Guandi has now immediately arrived in the next month, which is reasonably good. What I'll do is I'll bring you up here now, and you can continue patrolling up in this northern quadrant and hopefully fight them off if required. So you're still pleased. Hopefully you'll stay like that, so I can bring you in if needed very quickly. Now we'll burn through Guandi's happiness and eventually Bodhihama. Just to show off how powerful these big monuments are when you've done. It's been 14 months since my last homage, and these guys are still spectacularly happy. And I believe my last one was actually to these guys, so it's been quite a long time since I sent anything off to Su Wukong. And here we go, this must be the big one. In 6 months, the Mongol Empire is going to launch an invasion. Was going to arrive here and quite possibly wipe us out. And historically, this is the one that destroyed Zhongdu. So hopefully we can take them down. And here we go, the Mongol Empire has launched an invasion. They are coming from the exact opposite side of the map, which is unfortunate because I've moved all my troops to the northeast. We can bribe them off for 40,000 cash, which is nearly 3 times more than the last invasion. So I'm assuming this one is going to be a hell of a lot bigger. Let's fight to defend the city and see if we can take them down. And there we go, guys, the invasion force has been defeated. We've pushed the Mongols back finally. We've taken some fairly significant damage here, as well as... What the fuck? Wait, hang on. I have no idea. I have no idea why this is completely collapsed. Unless it was somebody up here attacking. I saw one of them that collapsed, but for some reason... every single heavenly compound, apart from that one, has collapsed. There is an inspector's tower there, and I've been playing the game for a number of months. So a minimum of 49 months, obviously a couple of years in reality, because I haven't had heroes that whole time. And yet for some reason everything has collapsed. That is a... this game sucks sometimes. Either way, that is the end of the Mongol invasions by, I assume anyway. We managed to hold them at this choke point here. They flanked around us and tried to come in from behind, but we did beat them. And I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to get our heavenly compounds back up again, get our population rebuilt, and then we can push onwards to victory. And Bodhihama has popped in now that Guandi has sort of burnt through his happiness with the city, and these guys are just finishing up final evolutions. You need access to a herbalist for some reason. You should have access to a herbalist. I don't know where my herbalist is. Ah, there you go. Must have been walking around very, very slowly. Either way, a couple of years have ticked over. We have effectively rebuilt down here. Beginning importing. There was a small graphical bug with that wall there. But other than that, things are looking pretty good. These guys are going to need a little bit of stuff. We've got more than enough weapons. And how are we going here? Population is high enough. We need it for people to move into the heavenly compounds and continue moving through our gods, our months of heroes. The Mongols are demanding more stuff. I'm actually going to dispatch it off. It's only tea, which is very cheap. So I'm going to dispatch it off simply because at this point I think I've beaten the biggest battle they have to offer. If they decide to invade again, then I'll beat them back again. But at this point, I think it's time to move onwards to victory. There is nothing else really that I need to prove. I've protected the city for the most part, although for some reason everything here just completely collapsed. Although it would be nice to invade the Mongol Empire. I wonder if I should do that or not. Okay, Year of the Earth Rabbit. What we're going to ask for is production yield, defensive bonus might be very handy. Let's actually grab a defensive bonus. Stamina of my troops and ability of the foes to penetrate our defenses is decreased. Excellent. So we have ourselves a defensive bonus. We don't necessarily need it, but it should help us out a little bit. Now I have removed Su Wukong from the city. He was the next one to come back in. With a few more months left, I'm going to attempt to take out the Mongol Empire. And here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to leave behind our archers. I'm going to send off everything except our archers, because our archers should be able to attack from behind the walls if we're attacked by anybody else. I'm going to send you guys off. We're going to attack their military. The tribute type is going to be, let's go spices. We're going to want spices from them. And tribute severity will be harsh. I think that should be able to take them. We're going to dispatch that off. Rolling an egg down a mountain. We're going to send the forces anyway and see what happens. And there we go. We've conquered the Mongol Empire. Leader Genghis Khan is ashamed. The Mongol Empire now owes us tribute. We've taken them down, we've beaten them back, and reversed our fortunes. We now own the Mongol Empire. I guess this is the ultimate proof that the Heavenly Kingdom is unstoppable. With that, we're going to bring in a hero for the last couple of months and take it onwards to a victory. Here we go. New Year has rolled around and tribute is paid by the Mongol Empire to us. We're going to accept the spices and put them to good use.
Genghis Khan's troublesome horde of Mongols has been defeated at the gates of Zhongdu. Someday they will no doubt return, but for now Zhongdu is secure, growing and flourishing under your inspired leadership. Zhongdu has blossomed into a leading city on the world stage, a fitting capital for this dynasty and all of those to come.
And there you go, guys. That is the end of the final episode of the final mission of Emperor. We've completely beaten it. We've changed history. And on top of that, we've actually managed to not just defeat them at the gates of Zhongdu, but completely turn the tides on the Mongols. And we now own the Mongol Empire as a vassal. Now, they will begin to extend west out towards Russia. They will go as far south as out towards Turkey, southwest I suppose, but they will never, ever come into China. We've beaten them back. We've held them back. We are the Heavenly Kingdom. I've been Blxz, guys. Smash that thumbs up button if you do indeed enjoy the content. Make sure to subscribe if you've not done so already. And make sure to keep an eye out because there will be additional content coming out as I guess I move beyond the city builders. I'm going to have a look at some of my old content. I might revise a few things, go through and see what I can put out in the near future. Take care, guys, and I'll see you around.
Splendid work, great leader. You have followed the long and difficult course of Chinese history, from the earliest times to the glories of the Chinese imperial age. During this age, The Western world remains in darkness. But thanks to your skill and dedication, the glories of China are unsurpassed. Congratulations, Son of Heaven.